Namaste. Welcome to another Friday session. I hope you all must be happy and healthy. Well, this week again, I'm going to tell you another of my unpublished and untitled story. This story is inspired by a story which my grandmother used to tell me when I was a child. Of course, I've tweaked it a little bit. I hope you like it. And also, as before, please suggest an appropriate title for the story. So, here's the story for you. I had been working late that night. It was good that it was raining outside. It had made the climate somewhat bearable. Or else, June in Bombay was usually very humid and sticky. But the rains had somewhat cooled the place. But with rain, the kind Bombay gets gives way to other problems, especially like disruptions in traffic and public transport system. It was already past midnight, and I was worried that I might miss the last train also. I was the only one left at work at that time. I wanted to leave early, but the next day being Sunday, just wanted to finish the pending balance sheets. I tried winding up as fast as I could. The incessant pitter patter of rain played monotonous percussion on the tin roof, which was making it harder to concentrate. Even before I could make a decision to wrap up, electricity got cut. Well, it was a blessing in disguise. I waited for the customary 5 minutes, and even before the electricity could get any chance to revive, I scooted off from the place. As soon as I stepped out of the office, I realized that the whole block was engulfed in darkness. On top of that, it was raining cats, dogs, and other unmentionable members of the animal kingdom. Various sizes of lunar-sized potholes were created everywhere, and one could very well see all the wonderful things floating over these cesspools. The bus stop below my office was empty. Not even the stray mongrel, who was a sort of its permanent resident, was not there tonight. I waited for any wandering taxi for some time, and after finding my attempt futile, decided to walk till the next lane, hoping for a better luck there. Behold, as soon as I took turn into the next lane, stood my knight in shining armor. Those of you who are familiar with Bombay's Colaba area very well know that the horse-drawn carriages, more commonly known as Victorias, are a popular sight there. So, this one horse-powered vehicle was standing there under the tree-lined dim-lit street. I'm not sure how much protection the tree was giving to the horse or its owner from this rain, but they seemed quite content standing under it. The Victoria was shining under the moonlight and with its colorful canopy at the back, and its goldenish silver body bouncing off the raindrops, created a mysterious, almost sinful aura all around it. With no other option in sight, I approached it, hopscotching on the road. Both of them didn't seem to notice me and seemed quite content amongst themselves. The horse's mouth was buried in a sack, which almost probably was full of, I guess, chickpeas or oats, whatever it was. He was enjoying it, and the sound of it made my stomach grumble too. The man was covered from head to toe in a greyish dull, torn from various places, worn out blanket. Hello, uncle, can you please drop me to the nearest taxi stand? Without replying, he just stretched his left hand and opened the carriage door. Thank you, and I climbed aboard. Uncle, little faster, please. I don't want to miss the last train from Churchgate Station, I said and started wiping my face with already wet handkerchief. He whipped the horse a little. Either the animal didn't feel or it was too much used to it, it didn't affect his speed. I was also too tired and drenched to register any complaint. The rain hitting the canopied canvas roof was making a dull sound, together with the sounds of raindrops falling on the street, and the sound coming from horses' hooves was slowly making me drowsy. To keep awake, I decided to engage in a small talk with him. Bombay becomes very bad during the rain, potholes and water logging everywhere. No answer. How long have you been driving this Victoria? No answer. Are you from Maharashtra? No answer. It seemed quite strange. He had not replied even once. I would have been satisfied with a simple nod from his side. Even when I had asked him before boarding the carriage, then too, he had not even looked at me, leaving aside giving any sort of reply. I had not noticed it before, as I was too harried in my own thoughts. But now it occurred to me that I had not even seen his face, as it was fully covered in that greyish dull, torn from various places worn out blanket. The street bore a deserted look, not a soul in sight. The only thing that was visible were the ghoulish shadows of trees and buildings playing hide and seek with moon's reflection on the rain puddles splashed all across. Breaking all this symphony was the constant trotting of the horse and clatter coming from the carriage's wheel and the splashing sound they together made on the tar street. The night had cooled a lot by then. The constant drizzle, together with winds flowing helter and skelter, were invoking a tingling sensation in me which I had not known previously. This dark night bore an ominous look. The dampness in my clothes was because of the rain or the sweat. I was not really aware, but what I was aware of, that it was surely making me feel very uneasy. On top of that, this eerie silence was killing me. I again tried having some polite conversation with him, but as before, he did not respond. I was getting sick of it and started regretting the time when I took the decision to board his chariot. Before I could contemplate more on my train of thoughts, we turned into an empty, dark alley. It was so narrow that I could actually touch the buildings on either side. Why we turned here was not only confusing me, but also scaring me. This whole time, the pace of our carriage had not changed. We were still moving at the same speed as we had started. Either it was the expertise of the horse or the owner. I was not sure, but not even once our carriage touched the buildings on either side. As soon as we came out of the alley, we turned left, and all of a sudden, as if it was preempted, he stopped, and with his right hand pointed out in the opposite direction. A lone taxi was parked on the opposite side of the road. I breathed a sigh of relief. And before I could say anything, he, as before, just stretched his left hand and opened the carriage door. Clearly, that was the signal for me to leave. I politely asked about the fare, but he gave no answer. I insisted, but he didn't say anything. Trying to be fair, I just opened a wallet and took out 200 rupee notes and offered him. He didn't even look at me. His attitude was just frustrating me. Out of sheer irritation, I raised my voice. Uncle! He turned and looked at me. His cold, blank eyes stared at me. His whole head was covered in that greyish dull, torn from various places worn out blanket. Apart from his eyes, nothing else was visible. It took me a couple of seconds to realize that nothing else was there. A cold shiver ran across all my body. He had no face. The money slipped from my hand. I ran across the road as fast as my feet could take me. I opened the back door of the taxi and even before I closed the door, told the driver, Boss, Churchgate station, hurry! I was panicking. My heart was beating so fast as if at any moment my chest would tear open and would leap out. I kept on turning back to see the carriage standing there. He was looking in my direction. I was getting jittier by the passing second. Hurry, please, I told the driver with a sense of urgency. What happened, Sahib? You know, I stammered. That Victoria, the person, he had no face. What do you mean? I mean, he had no face, just eyes. Are you drunk? Shut up! I'm telling you, he had no face, just eyes, no face. I don't believe you. Really, I'm telling the truth. He had no face. You mean had no face? Just eyes? Yes. He slowly turned towards me. You mean his face was like this? So friends, this was the story. I hope you like it. As I told you, if you like the story, please suggest an appropriate title for this story. And please subscribe to my channel, give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. Till next week, be safe, be healthy. Jai Hind.